Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster. So first off, happy Halloween, unless you're not watching this on Halloween when it uh goes up. So yeah. So with everything that's been going on, if you haven't seen the uh other parts of this what if, please go watch them first before watching this one. You have been warned and such about what's about this and all that. And before anything else, hit it. Now then, we are at a point where it is a week before uh, the UA exam and such for entry. On this day, Izuku is thinking about the meeting that he's going to have with the operators and such, which is when he gets a call from his cousin Sadia. This is a cousin on his father Zalgo's side. So yeah, as he asked what's going on, as he states that he's heard from Lazari stating that you're an full-fledged operator level now, congratulating him and such, as he nervously says thanks. He then brings up the question on proxies. He states, I don't have any, as he laughs a little bit and says, well, I have some people that might be interested. We, I already know that you won't be the typical operator, and I let them in on that as well. And so they are interested and willing to agree. We can come over tonight. As Izuku thinks this, he says, okay, but I have to call uh, Kyoka first to come over. I want her to know the truth. Celia says, alright. Hopefully it doesn't melt her brain, though. With Izuku stating, yeah, hopefully. As he calls her to come over, she does wonder what it's about, but Izuku states that she'll know once he gets there, giving her a time to come over. He does come there first, as he uh, answers the door, letting her in. Once he asks what's going on, he tells her, along with Inko, about everything. He's thinking, are they serious? As the doorbell rings again, revealing Celia carrying a female mate scarecrow that looks and designed like a female, along with a scythe, a man with gray skin and yellow eyes holding a large box, and a guy who looks like a black and white clown with a cone nose. As Sadia introduces the puppeteer and uh, Laughing Jack, shaking hands, introducing themselves, with uh, Jiro just looking at them, thinking, what's going on? Inko tells her that this is the kind of stuff that I've gotten used to. Trust me, it's all real. As Jiro is still skeptical, then we see Sadia placing Scarecrow down. Her name is Scarecrow as well as what she is, as her past is explained as a past proxy of Zalgo's that he gave the ability to move and talk. Also remarking that items that have souls, well, items can develop souls whenever they're thoroughly cared for by others. And that when she went against Zalgo, she lost the ability to move and talk, but the soul still remains. stating that Zalgo tricked her in the first place to take somebody out, whispering that to Izuku, so uh, Jiro couldn't hear. So he understood. As Sadia then began to walk Deku through the process of giving that ability back to her. Before he starts, he transforms and takes a good look at Scarecrow as he hears a voice stating, "Oh, what's going on? Looks like Zalgo. Am I going to be finally destroyed instead of just being left lifeless now?" As Sadia remarks, "You heard it, right? That's all the proof we need this that you can do this, Izuku." As he does the spell, giving her movement and voice back, she pops up freaking out, asking if she's going to be destroyed. Just as he was just given the ability to move and talk and such, just so that she could be destroyed. Alia calms her down, takes her into another room to tell her everything. And Jiro is now convinced that everything they said was true. After Sadie and Scarecrow come out, they then begin with the next introduction, as the puppeteer puts down a box explaining who's in here. A monster who was made by a man who can make anything, but whatever he made performed the opposite of what it was made for. So a monster would become an obedient servant, as he states that it would be a good proxy. Opening it up, it reveals a what seems to be a ventriloquist dummy colored with red, white, and black. As it stood up and jumped to the ground, taking a full human form, introducing himself as Paris, asking what's going on, what year is it, and such, as he's completely filled in, scoffing at how long he's been in that box again. Though he's glad that everything that he wanted to do has been taken care of. Though offered being a proxy to have his own life, he doesn't have anything else going on, so he does agree. As Sadia then walks him through the process of making them his proxy, as well as stating that his power will be extended to him, well, his power will be extended to them over time through service of him as his proxies. As the process goes and everything, everybody else leaves afterwards, with Scarecrow going with Sadia and Paris sticking at the house in his puppet form since he doesn't take up much room. And Inko's okay with that, with Paris talking to her, stating that she's surprised she used to this, with her stating, "I had a child with a demon. A living puppet really isn't that big of a shock." As Izuku and Jiro talk, with Jiro looking at him stating, "You have a tail now?" With Izuku scratching his head stating, "Yeah." As he does a bit of a flashback showing that ever since he got one for all, his body has been changing. Most likely due to the fact that he's half demon, half quirked human. So there's that. So it did cause a physical difference, as well as an added foot in his demon form. As he asked, "So, what do you think?" She sighs and closes her eyes, thinking for a little bit, and says, "It's fine. Even in this form, even whenever I saw you do that stuff to bring a scarecrow to life and everything, I still just saw you. The you I've always known. No, I think, I think it's fine. You're still you, and I'm still me." though. Nothing's really changed. I had just learned more about you. As he also states, he understands why he would keep this a secret from her, though also stating that he isn't exactly happy about it, but she understands it. As Izuku walks her home. So we get to the part of the UA entrance exam as they go in where Izuku doesn't trip, walking in with uh, Jiro and such. As they do the same as in canon for the written portion of the exam and head to the auditorium to get built in for what they gotta do for the more for the physical portion of the exam. As President Mike's going over everything, Izuku's drinking coffee, not really saying much, in a thermal mug thing that's capped off and such. So yeah, where then Ida remarks about the robots thing, and President Mike tells him that that's actually a 0 pointer worth no points, that's more of an obstacle than anything. So, as they go over, Jiro and Izuku aren't in the same block. So, yeah, when as he doesn't go over to Oraka and doesn't get hassled by Ida, he then hears President Mike state that there is no real countdowns in battle and to just go. As the test begins, he rushes in full transformation, tearing up the robots bit by bit, then summoning his double neck bass guitar to use the explosive uh, sound vibrations to blow up plenty of robots and the condensed sound vibrations to slice some of them in half, saving people along the way, even using this time to get more practice with his new developed tail. As the fight continues, we get to the part where the 0 pointer shows up. Before he can leave, he hears a girl yell out, seeing Ochako stuck under some rubble and about to be crushed by the 0 pointer. Instinctively, he blitzes over there, jumping up towards the robot's face, taking both of his right fists, powered his whole body up with one for all. And if you remember correctly, he has two sets of arms in demon form and can blows the robot away, sending it flying a bit, not far, but a good bit, as it blows up on landing. As he makes a safe landing, though it does create a bit of a crater, as it does show that he did extremely well at the exam. A day later, he gets a letter delivered by Lazari that shows the meeting and such, also stating to bring All Might and anyone else he wants, including his proxies, at it, and it will be at Splendor Man's house tonight. Now, this is early in the morning the day after the exam, so he calls up Jiro, stating, Kyoko, I'd like for you to come with me for something. As we see Lazari handing over 2 boxes, as he smirks, stating, I thought you might do that. Handing over a dress clothing enchanted to change its shape and such to match his demon form. As Lazari explains that, telling him that he, they can also get one for his hero suit. Well, a custom made one with the same kind of abilities for his hero suit that they want. He smirks, saying thank you as he continues talking to Jiro, explaining where they're going. Then calling All Might to fill him in, and that it seems to be a black tie event. And it might be best if he goes into his skinny form for it. After everything's set, he and even informs his proxies and such calling Sadia since seems like the others don't have cell phones, and gets tells his mom as she finds a dress, and Paris turns into his full form, considering he's already dressed pretty proper for black tie, although his tie is red. As Izuku states, we really need to get you some casual clothes. Where we see Jiro coming over and Izuku handing over the box with the dress. Her dress is also a mixture of red and black, like the suit that Izuku wearing to go there. As All Might shows up in the skinny form, where Jiro and Iko don't know who this is, but his proxies come over as well as Lazari guides them, explaining how they're getting there, telling them that mostly the mansions of operators reside in the place in between the mid and upper realm, which the upper realm is also referred to as the human realm. So, yeah. She also continues stating that due to this fact, their houses of operators are capable of moving around from one country to another and all that, though this also allows them to be very well hidden, which they are seeing it as a very good thing for Izuku and such. As he continues stating, though, they can enter fully into the mid or upper realms, which would allow anybody to get there. As he leaves out the part about what happens to people in the upper realm who get close. So, yeah, All Might's taking this all in of all this craziness. And so is Jiro. With Inko just being used to this. As they get to Splenderman's house where it's being hosted, she explains Slenderman and his brothers, Splenderman, Trenderman, and Offenderman, who are the three of the brothers of the Slenderman. As they go in there, they end up running into Sin Slender, who says hello, stating that it's nice to meet them again. As Izuku introduces his proxy, his mom, girlfriend, and teacher, which catches Inko and Jiro's eyes, thinking that teacher for what? Though business before anything else, as Sen guides Izuku and All Might over to the meeting of the operators, with Izuku telling Paris and Scarecrow to keep his mom and Jiro, well, Kyoka safe, which is Jiro's first name. Hopefully I said that correctly, or, you know, as they go into the ballroom, seeing a good bit of people, including a guy with a slit mouth and dark, being dragged by a girl also with a slit mouth. This is Jeff being dragged by Nina. That's an N, not an M, so please get that straight. As for in the meeting, they explain what's going to happen, where Izuku will be getting his own mansion and such for him and his proxies, also remarking that the appearance of the manor will change depending on the individual, in this case the operator that it's connected to, though it will only happen when after they move in, also stating that due to circumstances, Sen will also be getting one, as she now also has proxies as well. As for her proxies, this will be Tiki Toby as well as Smile Dog. So yeah, Sen has decided, stating that she can't wait to move in. as All Might asks some of the particulars about how they work. Not the houses, but their system. They go on stating that in the more crime-ridden countries of the world, due to quirks, they perform a kind of bounty hunting kind of thing, where then they are paid by people in the under and the mid realm, which he isn't quite comfortable with, but he is informed that it doesn't happen in Japan due to the fact of its number one hero, All Might, and such. Of course, Zalgo doesn't like going through channels like this, which is a reason why he wants Izuku, seeing him as a possibility of using him to cause all kinds of havoc as he wants in the mid and lower realms, which isn't good for any of them. As the meeting continues, answering questions and filling them in on particulars, also stating that the mansion will also grow to accommodate more proxies, as well as grow and change to the individual itself to fit them, as Sen thinks that her dad's mansion as well as her uncle's do actually fit, with Splendor chiming in stating that yes, even my lovely home matches me perfectly. Back at the party, Hiro and Inko are worried about going near people, not knowing exactly what's up with them, since they do look somewhat odd. A lot of them do. Scarecrow chimes in stating, look, they won't pull anything crazy here, alright? It's just everyone here has their own tragic backstory. So, yeah, just don't try to bring up anything of their past if you do end up talking to them. As Jiro asks if there was something, if that's so, then she looks down, not sure what to say. As Scarecrow states, it's fine. You can still talk to people, just don't bring up their past, since it tends to be a touchy subject. Jiro shakes her head, stating, yeah, as then someone approaches them, introducing himself as Toby, alongside a red and black dog with human teeth smiling a really large grin that makes Inko and Jiro very nervous, introducing himself as Slender's proxy along with Smile Dog, as they introduce themselves as Izuku's proxy, along introducing themselves as Scarecrow, Laughing Jack, the Puppeteer, Paris, and Sadia. So that goes a bit smooth, as the operators and All Might are done now, and get going, with All Might being filled in that Sen's letter will be set up as a transfer student to UA, but without messing up any of the other applicants that got in, stating that it should be fine and she's strong enough to take care of herself, at least when it comes to the hero school and such. As they leave going back to the party and have a pleasant time with Izuku dancing with Jiro and such, being a little tense as Jiro laughs at him for being so tense even though he's half demon in this kind of place, which Izuku does admit is weird. As they go to leave the party and such, All Might does give Izuku a heads up, giving him his letter. Since the exam is already done, he gives him his letter personally, as when he gets home, he opens it up, seeing that he got in, also seeing All Might's hologram and such. So, with the mansion completed and a good bit of time before UA classes start, Inko and Izuku move into the mansion, along with uh, Laughing LJ, Scarecrow, Puppeteer, and Sadia and Paris and such. Even Inko ended up coming along too, on Izuku's request, stating that it would be safer that way for her. She agreed and ended up going with them, as they were packing everything and stayed there for a while. The house began to change a little bit, getting bigger and getting a red and black paint job on the outside, even having some more musical things like designs on the outside of the house and a new room with a stage in it on the inside. Izuku's pretty excited as the first day of class starts. Him and Jiro meet up to go to school, as when they open the door, of course Bakugo and Ida are arguing. As Ida notices him and walks up, telling him that he is the better student on all that, but before Izuku can correct him, Ochako shows up behind them, saying that she recognizes that messy hair and horns, stating that he's the guy that saved her from the zero pointer. Which then we see Aizawa show up and such in his caterpillar sleeping bag, telling them to be quiet, as he walks up into the in front of the class, stating that, alright, now you've all gotten here on the entrance exam. However, due to certain situations and such, I was told, we have a transfer student from the US that will be going to school here. Also remarking that there is another one transfer student from the US in 1B, as he introduces Sen, who goes by Slender. They, though, as for the last name, she goes with Smith, since they need a actual human name, and Slender Man's already an urban legend and her parents, so they just went with simple Smith, just not bothering to make it too complicated, as he introduces herself as Sen Smith and takes her seat and such, as Aizawa tells them to put on their PE uniforms and head to the sports field, with obviously the question being asked about in about the going to the auditorium for the opening ceremony, as he remarks that this is UA and he can run his class however he feels like. So they start to walk over to the locker rooms, with Jiro asking, "So you saved her?" Izuku states, "Yeah, I saved her during the exam from the pointer." As Jiro says, "Oh, well, they were crazy huge, so I guess something must have happened, huh?" He shook his head yes, as they got dressed for the in their gym clothes and head to the field, with Aizawa tossing over the ball to Izuku, telling him to throw it using his quirk at full force. As he transforms, his PE clothes get a bit torn. Now his pants are short, and there are now additional holes where for his second set of arms. So he goes over to where to throw the ball, with Bakugo asking, "Since when do you have a tail?" With Deku stating, "It's recent." As he's just hoping people don't keep asking him that. So yeah, He takes he takes the ball and winds up for the pitch, juicing up with one for all, full on chucking it. As for the reading, it says indeterminate. On impact on the landing, it ended up getting destroyed and couldn't get a proper reading from it. So Aizawa punched in a number that would make sense for this. Random, and though it was a good bit high. As they're excited to use their quirks for this, Aizawa states that the person who gets in last it shall be expelled, causing them to get serious. Now then, the strength portion of the exam, Zuko did best at. As for something like the distance run, Sen actually uses the slender walk to get to the end instantly. As for the gripping portion, she uses her tendril, which is stronger. As she's asked about her power, about her quirk, and she states, "Well, my quirk is these black tendril things that come out of my back, and a kind of teleporting one." As Todoroki states, "Huh, so you have two quirks like me." And she states, "Yeah, basically." At the end, Izuku ends up with the top score, as Mineta is the last one, but Aizawa states that he isn't sending anybody home, and that it was just a ruse to make them go all out and not hold anything back. With Momo stating that they didn't figure that out, maybe she should have said something, with them stating, "Yeah, you should have." As they go and head to the locker room to change, Bakugo is pretty mad for not getting the #1 slot in the exam or these physicals, but also because he thinks Deku has been holding out on him with his strength. As we see the school day continue, we get to the part where Hero Course comes up. As All Might walks in or enters like a hero in his Silver Age costume, opening the walls, showing the cases where their hero costumes are, stating that they'll be doing combat training. So, for Zuko's costume, it's made similar to the suit he wore with the enchantments. So, but it's in the design like a rocker. So, yeah. So it will adjust. As Hiroshima remarks that his costume looks awesome, but asks if it won't rip up like his gym clothes will, with Izuku stating, "No, these are special made. They'll adjust to the changes in my body's shape." So he's okay with that. As for Sen's hero costume, she does end up with more of a female suit, kind of resembling her father's and such, with Hero remarking that that actually looks pretty nice on her, with Sen's telling her thanks. As they go over to the combat area where All Might states that clothes make the pros and you are the proof, as he goes over the whole test where teams will be made of heroes and villains. The villains either win by protecting the bomb or capturing the heroes. The heroes win by capturing the villains or putting their hands on the bomb. As like in canon, the setup is similar, though due to them having Sen there, he's paired up with Momo and Mineta for the villains portion. So whenever since Izuku and Ochako are going first against Bakugo and Ida, goes similar where Bakugo attacks Izuku full force, though he already transformed before entering. with the clothes adjusting to give additional sleeves and such for his demon form, also being quite resilient and not shredding, with Bakugo stating, "It looks like you've gotten a bit stronger. What exactly is this? Some kind of puberty for your quirk?" With Deku stating, "Seriously, man." As the fight continues, and Izuku uses his new tail, to smack Bakugo a bit, making him angry since he isn't used to fighting somebody with so many appendages. As he charges up his gauntlet, Izuku uses his arms to help block, protecting himself, but is sent back flying, with All Might telling Bakugo if he pulls that again, then his team will lose automatically. So, as Izuku gets up and Bakugo charges right for him, the fight continues again. Though Izuku, being annoyed by this, uses the mouse on his near where his collarbone is and on the sides of his shoulders, which are revealed as his costume changed when he transformed, to cause a sonic vibration attack, causing Bakugo's eardrums to feel like they're bursting, giving Izuku plenty of time to grab Bakugo and punch him into a wall, knocking him out, as Izuku uses the tape to capture him, with All Might stating Bakugo captured, and Izuku running full-fledged to the upstairs where the bomb is, where he sees uh, Ochako having trouble trying to catch Ida, where he uses a sound attack again, not seeing it necessary to pound, like full on punch Ida, just to cause his ears to ring, forcing him to drop the bomb, which, before it hits the ground, Ochako uses her zero gravity to make it float and place it safely, stating that she has it, which is where All Might states the hero team wins. Back in the area where they were going over the results, it's shown that Izuku is the MVP for taking out Bakugo and assisting Ochako, giving her a chance to catch the bomb when it was being impressively taken away out of her grasp from Ida running around so quickly, and for controlling his sound attacks so precisely to not harm his teammate. So, yeah. As for the other fights, they do go as in canon, as Bakugo is sent to the nurse's office to get healed by Recovery Girl and to get his hearing checked. All good, as he's able to come back before everything's done. As for Sen's match partnering up with Momo and Mineta still being the creep, and when he is, Sen's tendril slaps him, with Momo thanking her, and her stating it's no problem. As they go to leave after the day's over and everything, Jiro is walking with Izuku along with Ochako and Ida, and Sen as well, as they just begin to talk, already forming a friend group, with Bakugo obviously catching up to them, telling Izuku that he's not going to lose again. You hear me? As Izuku smirks, stating, "Bring it on then. I'll be ready." As they go home, though, for Izuku, he ends up going down a dark alley after bringing Jiro home. He's able to access his home. All he needs is a dark, secluded place to open up the rift where he can make it and enter the midsection between the middle and the upper realm, aka human realm again, where his new home is. As he gets home, he tells everybody about his day and such, with Inko stating that dinner's ready. She still pretty much takes care of the house, but in the capacity of more cooking. She Sadia agrees with that, stating that she probably can't trust Jack or Puppeteer to cook. With them saying, "Hey!" and Paris stating, "It's fine. Like I said, if you're looking for the comic this character Paris is from, The Living Dummy, then there will be a link in the description below to the webcomic, The Dummy's Dummy." That is the title of it. So, yeah, as they are enjoying themselves. So, we end this part of the What If. Do hope you enjoyed part 2 of What If Deku was the son of Zalgo, and hope to see you later. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification button, send it to all for future updates. So, hope you enjoyed, happy Halloween, and see you guys later.